Let me get my little paper out of all these people, my receipts. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. A lot of you might be like, hey Ash, why are you filming a video and posting it on a Thursday? Well, it's because it's a Halloween and I was like, let me seize this opportunity to literally tell you guys about the most horrendous dating stories that I've ever been on. Let's spill the tea. And for those of you that are celebrating Diwali, happy Diwali. I'm sending you all my love, all my light and positive energy, and eat the laddus, eat the jalebis. Personally for me, don't judge. Kaju rolls are like my favorite, if you guys know. For those of you that have a favorite sweet for Diwali or a favorite candy for Halloween, put it in the description box and let's see what you guys like. Okay, so this video today is gonna be a very fun video. No pencil, no paper, but I want you to grab a cute drink. So today we're doing a red drink to celebrate all the red flags that your girl Ash did not see while dating people. Grab a cute drink, a snack, and relax while we talk about my horror stories. And if you have any horror stories, can you please send them to me in the comments down below or add me on Instagram and send them to me, because these horror stories I'm seeing out here, I'm like, oh, by the way, before we start, guys, did you guys see my baby pumpkin? Isn't it so cute? Don't you guys love baby pumpkins? I went to the farm a few weeks ago and I picked up 3 of these little baby pumpkins. For those of you that don't know, don't paint your baby pumpkins because they will mold. I didn't know that. I painted really cute little baby pumpkins and this is the only one that survived because I didn't paint it. But it's so adorable now. It's so cute. Such a cute baby pumpkin. This video, I'm gonna break it down very similarly to the other videos. In the timeline, you'll see the different names that me and my friends have for these guys, and you'll be able to go to the one that you find that is interesting, or just come along the journey with us and let's talk about it. Okay, let's start hot and fresh with our first man, the alien man. So to set the scene for you, I went on a date with this guy that I knew for a few years of my life. We were kind of just friends, and then he was like, hey, I'm really interested in taking you on a date. Would you be interested to go with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I went on a date with this guy. Mind you guys, he did not call me the day of to confirm that we were still going on our date. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna brush it off. It's not that big of a deal. Red flag. Then I basically got all dressed up. I looked super cute. I drove to a place to meet with this person, and this person was super late. And then basically what ended up happening was he didn't even know where he was taking me. He was like, oh, where do you want to eat? I was like, wait, sir, you don't know where we're gonna go have dinner? And he was like, no, I don't know, where do you want to go, etc. So I was like, well, what's in the area, I guess. He found this one kind of casual diner, and I was like, you know what, why not? Let's go enjoy some company, enjoy some time, and just get to know each other. So I get in his car, we drive to the place, and we're seated at the restaurant, and we're basically just kind of having a little bit of chit chat and then going through the menu, ordering our food, etc. So now this is where it gets weird, okay? This man literally starts talking to me. Mind you, this is our first date, guys. I don't even know this person on that level. He starts talking to me about aliens. And not even lightly talking about aliens where it's oh, UFOs were discovered in No. This was did you know that aliens have landed the earth before, and I believe in aliens and I communicate with aliens. Excuse me, what? And this man quite literally told me that the world is ending in 10 years. He's a firm believer of it, so he's not looking for anything serious. And so he's just kind of flowing through life. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this can just be a friend for me, but not necessarily somebody that I'm very interested in proceeding with, but let me still see. Because of course, at that time I was red flags, what are those even? I'm just gonna continue and try to get to know this person. So basically what happens is our food comes, we're still having this very weird conversation about aliens, and then we're done eating. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go refresh myself in the washroom to touch up my lip gloss and look super cute to leave the restaurant with this guy. And I like when guys actually pick up the bill on the first date. But guess what I see, guys? My bill sitting on my side of the table. And I was like, not only was this person talking to me about aliens, alien abductions, and the world literally ending in 10 years, but my half of the bill is also sitting on that table. So I end up paying my side of the bill, and then I get back into that person's car and they're like, oh, I loved this date. I want to take you out again and get to know you. And I'm like, no, sir, I'm sorry. I don't, ET, not my friend. No. And guys, I literally learned so much about aliens in just that one encounter that I feel like an expert on them now. I feel like I could talk about alien abductions and extraterrestrial beings landing on our Earth. But yeah, that was super funny and never went on another date again. Moving on to Pizza Boy. I met this guy on Hinge that was, very in line with me. I felt like our mindsets were very similar and we just had really good banter. We had a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to kind of relate on. And this was very early into the dating game for me, so I didn't have much experience when it came to dating people. And this person was basically like, hey, you like pizza, I like pizza, let me take you out for pizza. And I was like, sure, like let's go out for pizza, how fun. Mind you, I'm super excited to like have pizza and focaccia and just the whole thing. I mean, I love Italian food. Do you guys like Italian food? Let me know. So I'm like in this place with this guy, right? And we're walking into the place and I'm like, ooh, this is such a cute little boutique Italian place. Like how adorable. So we're walking in, he opens the door for me, you know, all like gentleman-y, like I love that kind of thing. And I walk in and then all of a sudden, like random people are talking to this guy and they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna call him John. Hey John, how are ya? How was your day? And I was like, is he like famous or something? Like, why are people like talking to this guy like they know him? And I'm like, whatever, maybe he's a frequent customer, like who knows? So we get seated at our table and he's like, okay, here's the menu. Like, what do you want to eat from the menu? So I'm like, ooh, okay, like I'm gonna get myself a margarita pizza and I'll get like this cute little like mocktail kind of a thing. And we got focaccia, etc. I was so excited, guys. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm on this date with this guy that was so gentleman-y and etc. And we're gonna have this amazing date. So then he tells me, he's like, oh, I'll be right back. And I was like, okay, John, like, bye, like, take care, I'll see you in a few minutes. Because I thought he was going to the washroom. But then I was like, hold on, it's been like 10 minutes, then like 15 minutes, then like 20 minutes. And I'm like, ooh, maybe like, you know, did something happen in the washroom? Like, is he feeling okay? And then this man shows up at my table, not in the clothes that he came in. He had his work uniform on. He took me on a date on the shift that he had working at this pizza place. And then he came and he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get this pizza for you. Like, it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. Then guys, I sat there at the table by myself. But guys, this was a really good pizza. Like the margarita was top tier, such a good pizza. I would recommend, I'd go there again, but he works there, so maybe not. So yeah, that was pretty much the date. Thank God I chose to drive myself because I could not even have imagined what would have to happen. Like, would he have to end his shift to then drop me home if that was the case? Like, it was literally such a weird situation. I did get some like extra food, which was nice because he made me try like the dessert menu and all of that, which was really sweet. But I would have preferred to have a more personal and intimate date with somebody where it was like, you know, I actually got to talk to them while on the date and it wasn't just me sitting at a table all by myself and just waiting for food to arrive. So yeah, overall it was a good date, but I didn't see that guy again. Moving on to the Leo man. Okay, so for those of you that have watched my Love is Blind like reaction video, I basically spoke about a guy that I dated, okay? I actually was in a relationship with this guy for a month that was exactly like Leo. Like quite literally, these people were like copy and paste of each other. And you guys sent me so many requests to talk about the Leo guy and to tell you guys kind of like what happened with that person. So I'm gonna like give you guys a little bit of the tea in this video today. Mind you, this was the first person that I connected with on Hinge. And I was like, oh, maybe this is my person, you know? Like this might be the person I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. It doesn't work like that, honey. And so, you know, we had some banter, we had some conversation, we had a lot of like texting back and forth, and then this person started to send me voice notes. And I was like, wow, that's really sweet. You know, we're sending voice notes, we're getting to know each other. And then we did our first phone call. I did not know it at the time, but I was being severely love bombed by this person. This person started asking me what kind of rings I want for my wedding and what kind of ring they're gonna get me and things like that. And guys, huge red flag if people are asking you these types of questions super early on into dating you and basically being a normal relationship on steroids. It's a sign that it might be love bombing, so be careful about that. And so that was just the first thing, okay guys? After that, this person would talk to me about marriage and outfits and all these things, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this person is just being very genuine and happy and loving. Mind you, this person was like about 7 years older than me, so I was like, okay, like maybe they're in that stage of their life where they're looking to get settled down, they're looking for that kind of, you know, environment, so I shouldn't like really think too deep. No, I should have thought very deep. We finally go on our first date. I'm coming out of the car and I'm like, oh my God, like I hope I'm not being catfished. I hope this person looks like they said that they're gonna look like. I get out of the car, I see the person and I'm like, okay, he looked perfectly fine, but like in my mind, just kind of like what I envisioned this person to look like and what they looked like was very different. But of course, being the type of person I am, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like give this person the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna allow them to show me that they're a wonderful human being, and I'm gonna put looks and all the stuff that I would normally kind of like consider to the side. We go into the restaurant, everything is okay. We get in there and this person's being very like overly affectionate with me, overly lovey-dovey, overly affectionate. But at the time I didn't understand love bombing, right? So I was like, maybe this is just how they are, you know, they're just trying to be very kind and very loving. But then after this date, literally, I knew it. Sitting across the table from this person, I was like, I don't really know if this is my person, because I just didn't feel like that spark and connection in like an in-person setting, but I was like, let me just give it a shot. And guys, this is the thing I like tell myself looking back at it now. I'm like, when you see the sign and when your intuition is telling you no, don't stay in the same place, because you're gonna regret it later down the line. And when I started to see this person kind of like 180 into like more of the love bombing behavior, I realized I was like, oh my gosh, I should have ran. So we finished the date and we share a kiss. And guys, I don't know if it's just me, but do you guys feel like kissing compatibility should be like a criteria? Because when I kissed this person, I was like, ooh, like no. But you know what? I gave it the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, let me just date this person and get to know them and da-da-da. And then little by little, the layers of the onion are peeling. And I realized I'm like, this person is a love bomber. It would start with like the smallest things. It would start with like projection of insecurity from that person and being like, oh, like, you know, you don't really look the same weight that you were in your pictures. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. And mind you, I was right about to be on my period. And you guys know like that little bloat that happens right before our periods? It was literally that. And I was like, that is very mean, but like, that's fine. Maybe this person's just having a bad day. No, red flag. And this would happen over and over and over, guys. Like this person would project their insecurities onto me, would literally like flip the narrative onto me. Kind of like what Leo did to Hannah when they were in the pods and she was like, oh, I don't really like you like that. Like I want to move forward with Nick. And he was like, yeah, I know that. I always liked Brittany the whole time. What do you mean? So this guy used to do the same thing with me. When I was on my period, he would be like, oh, well, what were you doing while you were on your period when I wasn't here to help yourself cope? And I was like, that's really mean, sir. And there were a few times that he would say other mean things to me, which I'm not gonna share because they're very like personal details. And if anybody knows this person, I don't want them to like go to that person and you know, the tea is too hot there, girl, the tea is too hot. And just so many projections and so many things that were just like not in line. And that's when I realized I was dating a love bomber, somebody who would literally pour so much into me to get me to just kind of be wrapped around their finger, and then right after that do the 180 and start being cold and distant and hot and cold and being emotionally unavailable and quite literally being the opposite of what they were at the beginning. So that was Leo, man. And I highly recommend, guys, if you stumble upon an avoidant person who is emotionally unavailable and who does half the things that Leo does with this narcissistic behavior, run away. Don't date it. I promise. I tried. I thought it was going to be a really great relationship because this person was older than me, but at the end of the day, it was not. It did teach me a few lessons though, I will say that, and I can share them with you now. Moving on to ex-girlfriend guy. This had to be one of the saddest dates I have ever been on. So I met this guy on Hinge. He was like 5 years older than me, very established, very like, you know, he knew what his life was gonna be like. He knew he had all his ducks in a row. It was really nice and refreshing to meet somebody like that. And then basically he asked me on a date. I was like, sure, why not? Let's go on a date. And so, you know, got ready. I drove myself. Normally I drive myself to dates because guys, you can never tell with people, okay? They can be like serial killers out here and take you on dates and like literally abduct you. We're not gonna take our chances. So basically I meet up with this guy and he picks the cutest cafe spot. Like literally guys, it was adorable. There were plants everywhere. Like the aesthetic was so my aesthetic and I was living for it. It was so good. He had very good taste, I will say that. And so we're having this really great banter, right? And then all of a sudden I'm about to like reach for my fork and take a little bite of my cake. And this man says, my ex-girlfriend used to grab her fork like that. And that was literally the moment where I was like, oh no. The entire date, guys, was all about this person's ex-girlfriend. I kid you not, every single thing that I did, he would be like, my ex-girlfriend used to do that. Oh, you like dogs? My ex-girlfriend likes dogs. You like red velvet cake? My ex-girlfriend loves red velvet cake. And I was like, I wish your ex-girlfriend came on this date with us. How fun would that be for me to meet this person that's like exactly like me? The entire date was just this. It was just talking about this person's ex-girlfriend. And I almost felt so bad for him because I was like, you know what? That's fine. Like this date, I know in my mind is not going to go anywhere, but let me just kind of help this person, like, you know, feel their feelings and relieve how they're feeling. And I did just that, you know, like I sat with this person and I was like, talk to me, like, how do you feel? Are you okay? And so he started to tell me all about his ex-girlfriend and their relationship and the relationship they shared and just everything. And guys, I was a free therapist on this date for this man. And honestly, I wouldn't take it back because I think sometimes it's really nice to just be able to pour into other people's his classes and just be there for other people. But of course, y'all know I did not see that person again. But it was just really nice to like get to know a person and help them kind of like work through their trauma. And a little side note before we get to the last extremely funny story, if you are still going through trauma on a past relationship, please don't date. Allow yourself to go through that trauma and get through everything that you need to, and you can actually enjoy your time with the new person you're getting to know. Okay, moving on to the last date, and this is like the juiciest one. Y'all are gonna have your jaws on the floor for this one. Like, I kid you not, it was hilarious. So I finally decided I was not gonna do the dating apps and try to date a little bit more traditionally in like the modern age. So I met this person on Instagram because they followed me from their business account. And so I was like, oh, very cool. Maybe it's a collaboration or something like that. And then this person from their business account, okay, started DMing me. And it was like, hey, like what nationality are you, etc. And I was like, oh, this is definitely for like a collaboration, like nothing too serious, nothing too weird, right? This person literally started DMing me from their business account asking for personal information such as, what kind of food do you like to eat? Trying to like get to know me almost, like when two people meet each other and they're trying to get to know each other online. And then this person tells me they want to take me on a date. And I was like, okay, you know what? It's a little bit strange that you're sending me this on your business account, but let's try it and just go for it. So he sends me the reservation to the place and time and everything. And I'm like, cool, I'll meet you there, not a problem. And the day before the date, guys, I realized I was like, hold on, I don't know what this person even looks like. So I searched them up and I started looking into them and I was like, wait, how old is this person? And then I realized this person was like 12 to 13 years older than me. And of course I knew this because I did the reverse math by looking at that person's LinkedIn and I was like, when did they graduate? And when did they go to school? And da 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 da. And my brain went on overdrive. I was like trying to figure out what this person was, what they did, how old they were, etc. And then I found an age and I was like, should I just ask the person how old they are so I can confirm that? Which I ended up doing because I didn't want to like go there and just make an assumption that this person was like a lot older than they were. But guys, my calculations were right. I felt so bad to cancel last minute. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just go and try to experience somebody that's a little bit older than what I would go for. So cycle begins again. I go to the store, I get myself a cute dress. I'm like getting dressed up, hair is done, everything is done. The body glitter is on. By the way, guys, if you're going on a date, please wear body glitter. Just try it. It makes your skin look so radiant. It's so nice. So I get to the place, I park my car, change into my cute little heels, and I'm getting out to start walking to the place. And mind you guys, I was gonna be like 5 minutes early. So I go in, I'm like, hey, the reservation's under this person's name. They guide me to the table and I sit down. He was 45 minutes late. And that in itself should have been a red flag for me, but I was like, you know what? Be patient. He owns his own business. He must be busy. And finally the guy shows up and he walks over. And guys, I have never felt catfished in my life, but that moment I felt so catfished because I was like, this person looks nothing like his pictures. Nothing. Like it was absolutely insane and crazy. So then we're having conversation and it's so funny because I say this to you guys, but it's not even the worst part. Like the worst part keeps going. So he finally sits down, we're having some conversation, and then this person asks me if I like soccer. The Euro Cup was playing during that time, so I was like, I don't like soccer, but like I can definitely watch it, like if it's playing or something. And he's like, well, what do you feel about our kids being soccer children and you being soccer mom? Like, would you want to drive our kids to soccer practice and stuff like that? And I was like, well, if my kids liked soccer, then like, yeah, of course, I would support their dreams, support their goals, etc. And he was like, well, I want our kids to be in soccer. I want them to be professional athletes. Soccer, 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 and soccer, and soccer again. And I was like, it's like Alien Man, but in soccer form. And he kept talking about soccer and soccer. And guys, my brain, like I already knew the name for him. At that point, I was like, you're gonna be soccer man. And this person was on such a short timeline to get married and have kids. Like he was like, oh, well, by the way, I wanna get married next year and I wanna have kids in the year after. I was like, hold on, we're almost 13 years apart. I am not in the stage of my life where I'm gonna pop out a few kids right now, sir. And I just met you and you are only talking to me about soccer. Not only am I expected to be a soccer mom, but I'm also expected to have children with this man in the next year and a half. It was crazy. The entire time this person was just talking about those two things and I was just sitting there, poor me, at this table just trying to eat my food in peace and like not be mean and still be, you know, have manners and not be disrespectful, but I could not wait to leave. Finally, the time came, we finished eating, he walked me to my car, and so he messages me and he's like, hey, I'd really like to see you again. Like, would you like to see each other and like talk a little bit more about what our futures can look like? So I messaged him and I'm like, okay, just give me a little bit of time because I need to decompress and just kind of like process this date and see if I actually do want to proceed with you. Because, you know, there were good things about this person that I did like, but there were some parts where I was just like, I don't know if I can necessarily overlook these things, you know? I took about a day or two just to kind of decompress and think about things. And I sent that person a really nice message. I was like, hey, look, like I really enjoyed my time with you, but I feel like I need to be with somebody whose timeline isn't, you know, that quick because I'm not looking to do these things in the next year or two. And then this guy like doesn't reply to me. So I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe he got the message. You know, I can proceed with my life now and not have to worry about this person talking to me. It gets even worse. Then he sends me a message with a video of a house that he just purchased. And he's like, sorry, I've been really busy. And like, I just bought this like $5 million house. Like, look at it. Look at my $5 million house that you're missing out on because you're not choosing to marry me. Excuse me, sir? My jaw was on the floor because I was like, not only did this person only talk to me about soccer, only talk to me about being a childbearing machine, and then sends me a 6-minute video of their $5 million home that they just bought to literally tell me, hey, you should have married me because I bought this $5 million home. It's like such a funny experience. I'm so happy I have it because I can tell you guys about it now, and I've told all my friends this, and this is like one of our favorite funny stories of all time because you can't even fathom that like people are like this, but they are. Anyways, guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this really fun little Halloween horror story chit chat with me. If you have any first date horror stories, please comment them down below. I'd really like to know like what kind of experiences you guys have had too, and name the red flags that you totally ignored. I believe in you. I know you can do it, and happy Halloween.